Hi everyone, this is Leah from grade 12 E8, and for today I will be talking about the respiration and breathing of a frog. We have here the respiration and breathing of a frog. So respiration is the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen between the toad and its environment. And ang oxygen is absorbed in the body, and ang carbon dioxide is released. And every body cell consumes oxygen. The assimilated food that is sorted in a cell is slowly oxidized with the help of the oxygen. And then matransport two gases mag-take place through the blood department, working like a middleman, and the blood brings oxygen to the tissues from the skin and carbon dioxide from the tissues to the outside of the skin. And an exchange of air oxygen for the blood's carbon dioxide can take place in the respiratory organs and is also known as outside respiration. So, on true respiration, which results in the release of energy and occur in the tissue through the exchange of blood oxygen for the tissue carbon dioxide. And this is also known as the respiration in the internal of tissue. So, as the toad is an amphibian, it is able to receive oxygen and given out carbon dioxide from three kinds of respiratory organs. So we have the lungs, the skin, and the mucous membrane of the buccal cavity. So mo ni siya ang more steps og how they breathe or unsang pag-circulate sa carbon dioxide and oxygen. So we have here the schematic representation of the physical mechanism of respiration in toad. So kani siya, mo ni siya ang A, ang aspiration, and this one ang B, mo siya ang inspiration. So ang lung ventilation kay affected siya by two mechanisms, namely air breathing and inspiration, and air or expiration breathing. And for the aspiration, here, ang aspiration, ang toad kay close its mouth and lowers the buccal cavity floor so that it draws into the air through the outer nares. And ang air kay masok siya through the internal nares into the buccal cavity. And ang air kay dili siya makapas sa lungs as ang glottis kay mag-remain siya close. So, mo siya ang gitawag og aspiration. So, kaning letter A. So, for the letter B, which is expiration, so aspiration is followed by expiration. So the muscles of the spine strongly contract into the elastic lungs that expel CO2 or carbon dioxide rich air through the glottis that is opening up at this point. With the exhaled air from the lungs, the vocal cavity, which is already full of inhaled atmospheric air, becomes very distended. Suddenly, a combination of two air styles flows out of the open nostrils. And for the inspiration, kay ma-accompanied ni siya rapidly by expiration. The external nares are densely closed and the distended vocal cavity floor is forcibly raised. So therefore, the combined air is pumped through the glottis to the lungs. We have here the respiratory organs of a toad. So we have here the lungs, So the lungs are a thin-walled structure of a spongy that stretch backwards into the anterior portion of the body cavity. So naay duha ka lungs on each side of the heart. And each lung is kanang colored pink siya, then elastic sac that is connected by a short tube called bronchus. This one, kind of short nga tube, to the base of the laryngotracheal chamber. And ang laryngotracheal chamber or gitawag nga voice box through a slit-like gluteus interacts with the vocal cavity surface. And kanang vocal cavity kay mopen na siya through the inner and outer nares into the outer wall. So, sa outer wall of each lung is internally hollowed out to create countless simple chambers called air sacs or alveoli. Then every alveolus gets its own supply of blood from a minute branch of the pulmonary artery. So oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange is carried out by the alveolar epithelium, which has a moist surface and is richly supplied with capillary network. Laryngotracheal chamber. So, kaning nga part, kaning nga A, mo ni siya ang laryngotracheal chamber. So, gikat na siya para makita na to ang vocal cord. So, for the B is mo na siya ang structure of the lungs. So, ang pulmonary respiratory organ kay are external nares or nostrils, inner nares, vocal cavity, glottis, laryngotracheal space, bronchi, and ang lungs kay the vocal cavity kay mo interacts na siya in the laryngotracheal chamber. Sturdy box-like structured with two elastic vocal cords that extend around the cavity. So, ang sound can be created siya by a vocal cord vibration that also influence the sound's strength and pitch. So, ang male vocal sac helps by serving a resonator to amplify the sound. So, two extremely short bronchi give off the laryngotracheal chamber. So, ang each bronchus opens into a spongy lung with a thin wall. So the last one is the respiratory organs of the bullfrog in laterodorsal view. So kaning left mo ni siya ang larynx, gi-open na siya para makita na to ang vocal cord. This one is the lungs. So the sac is inflated with air from the lungs. If another call is forthcoming and the male frog is not in the process of calling. So ang air is still held in sac. Sound kay maproduce siya by a controlled rush of air through the larynx and across its vocal cords. The resulting sound vibrations are amplified by the resonating qualities of the vocal sacs or ang sacs. So unlike sa vocalization process kay many other vertebrates, frogs broadcast sound without expelling air. So, ang air, di na siya mo exit sa mouth. Rather, it cycles back and forth between the vocal cavity and the lungs. So, that would be all, guys. Thanks for watching.